Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. The last flight of Jet Airways may have landed on April 16th, 2019, but it was extremely clear in January, February 2019 itself that the company is headed for a closure and that the airline is bound to be grounded. By then, Jet Airways already had a debt of about 15,000 crores. Of that, it owed 9,000 crores to banks led by SBI and PNB, both of whom had an individual exposure of 2,000 crores each to the beleaguered troubled airline. The rest of the money, of about over 6,000 crores, was owed to various lenders, suppliers, aircraft lessors, employees, staff, etc. But then, January, February, and March happened to be election time in India at that time, and closure of a national airline with over 22,000 jobs at stake was certainly not politically palatable to the ruling party. They could not at that time have let the airline flounder and close down because it would have been extremely inconvenient politically. And therefore, despite the writing on the wall being very clear in February 2019 itself that Jet Airways is headed for a closure, despite that, the bankers to the company were singing a very different tune. They were now and then saying very confidently that Jet Airways is a great company and that there's a lot of investor interest there in takeover of the company and that Jet Airways will get revived. The bankers went to the extent of saying sometime in February 2019 that they intend to give about 1500 crores of additional funds to Jet Airways in order to meet its pressing payments and creditors, and that for that purpose they appointed EY as the financial and forensic due diligence auditors of Jet Airways in order to see that there has been no gross financial mismanagement such as to enable the bankers to give additional funds for the running, for the support of the airline till a new investor comes in. The EY report came very quickly. It came in a matter of just a couple of months and it was extremely hurriedly also accepted by the bankers as being very satisfactory. The EY report had a number of issues where no satisfactory answer was given by Jet Airways and its management, but despite that, the bankers led by State Bank of India very hurriedly, very frivolously accepted the report as satisfactory to give a clean chit to Jet Airways and its management. In fact, when the ED began its investigation of Jet Airways in September 2019, it actually questioned how did the bankers so quickly accept the report of EY. The ED said that according to it, about 8,000 crores have been siphoned away from Jet Airways by its management by way of money laundering, through shell companies, through bogus bills, through hawala, through FEMA violations, through income tax violations. It very rightly questioned that there were so many unsatisfactory issues pointing to large-scale money laundering in the company. And despite that, how did the bankers accept the report of EY to be satisfactory? And how were they willing to even fund it further? The fact is, the bankers were just putting up a facade. They never did fund the airline to the tune of another 1500 crores as was the impression given. And they yet continue to play the tune that there is huge investor interest in Jet Airways and the company will get revived. The State Bank chairman in his press meet on 24th March 2019 said that a number of investors are interested in the airline. He said that banks are considering to convert their loans into equity such that they would be more than 50% owners of the airline, and that he very confidently announced that within a matter of 2 months, which is by 31st May 2019, Jet Airways will get a new buyer, there will be a new management in place. That was a very confident statement that he made. The SBI chairman reiterated that there is a lot of investor interest in takeover of the airline such that it will soon be revived. He said in his press conference that Jet Airways has a great brand, it also has a great value, and thus according to him, a revival was imminent. He mentioned that the bankers are putting in every possible effort in order to get an investor on board, in order to revive the airline, which his confidence was will happen for sure. He then mentioned that McKinsey and company have been appointed to prepare a turnaround plan, which plan he said was ready. In fact, he famously said that the meal is ready and waiting to be served, just waiting for an investor to come on board. That was his press conference on 24th March 2019. Middle of May 2019, voting took place. And after that, the bankers started singing an entirely different tune. There was a somersault, there was a U-turn, and contrasting statements were now being made. All the confidence, all the assurance, all the swagger that the SBI chairman was showing was suddenly gone. In his press conference on 17th May 2019, the SBI chairman said that just one single conditional bid had been received. In other words, no unconditional bid was received for the takeover of the airline. No investor interest came whatsoever. He then said that since bankers are not in the business of running an airline, the company will now have to be referred to the NCLT for its resolution or probably for its liquidation. A year later, in March 2020, the SBI chairman said very perfunctorily that the bankers tried their best to revive Jet Airways, but they failed. The fact of the matter is, they were never expecting to succeed. It was just a facade that they had put up saying that there's a lot of investor interest and the airline will be revived. They always knew that that was not the truth of the story. That company, which was called to be having a great brand value and great valuation, and which was said to be in great demand with investors, suddenly was called an orphan, an unwanted child. And even at this stage, instead of liquidating the company and realizing its assets, which included, as per the bankers, 16 planes owned by Jet Airways worth about $4 million, almost 3,000 crores of rupees, instead of selling the assets, liquidating them, and repaying the creditors in the best possible manner, the bankers did not do that. The airline was sold to an unknown entity, an unknown investor, sometime in October 2020. It was sold to a gentleman called Murari Lal Jalan from Dubai, along with Calrock Capital, both unknown entities. And thus, the airline was handed over instead of liquidating the assets and paying creditors in the best possible manner. These unknown bidders, who had suddenly appeared on the scene from nowhere, and they were actually unknown, never did submit a resolution plan to the NCLT when the company was handed over to them by the NCLT sometime in October 2020. The bankers, according to us, were certainly aware of the kind of resolution plan which was going to be submitted, because according to us, they were already a compromised lot. But to all of us, the general public, to the vendors and the creditors, this resolution plan which has been recently submitted by Muralilal Jalan to the NCLT has come as a huge shocker. What is being paid to the creditors is a total pittance. The employees to whom Jet Airways owes 1200 crores are being paid just 113 crores, which is just about 9% of their dues. The blue-collar workers of the airline are being given a token money of 11,000 rupees per person, irrespective of the dues that the airline has to them. The lenders, led by the bankers, are being paid about 1,000 crores against their total dues of 7,454 crores. That's a haircut of 86% being taken by the bankers. The vendors are being paid just 9 crores against their total dues of about 6,500 crores. As far as the bankers are concerned, even the 1,000 crores being paid to them is not an upfront payment being brought by the new bidders out of their own funds. This 1,000 crores is proposed to be paid to the bankers over a 5-year period, and that too out of the earnings of Jet Airways which they propose to earn by running the airline. Thus, the real amount being received by the bankers is even much lesser. And as far as the employees are concerned, just about 50 of them are proposed to be absorbed by the airline when it proposes to commence operations. That's the kind of a resolution plan which has been submitted by the bidders to the NCLT. And as we said, this has certainly been accepted by the financial creditors of the company. We find this to be an extremely dubious and non-transparent plan. And we think that this is on the same path that we have seen as happened in the case of Kingfisher Airlines and in the case of Reliance Communications. The bankers in their entities also were very confident that an investor will come on and that the company will get taken over and a revival will take place. But what happened was the contrary. No investor came for Kingfisher Airlines, no investor came for Arcom, and finally, no revival also took place. And we think even Jet Airways is headed on the same path. Having said this, we have a number of questions for the resolution professional, for the NCLT, and for the bankers in respect of this highly questionable resolution plan of Jet Airways, which has been accepted by them. Our first question to the bankers is, they were extremely confident till March 2019 that an investor is coming on board and that the airline will be revived. What happened in those 2 months? That in May itself, they gave up and they said that no such investor is coming on board. Senior bankers like an SBI chairman cannot be so unaware of the facts of the case that they make such a confident statement sometime in March 2019, and by mid-May, that statement is found to be worthless. The second question we have is, what is it that compelled the bankers to accept the financial forensic due diligence report of EY? The report clearly was unsatisfactory, but they in a very hurried manner accepted it and said that all was good. They found it to be satisfactory. Even the ED criticized them and questioned them. But what was it that compelled the bankers to give a clean chit to Jet Airways in April 2019? A third question is, in the process of this takeover, the bankers are taking a haircut of 86%. If they were willing to take such a huge haircut, then why did the bankers reject the offer or the interest that was shown by the Hinduja Group in taking over the airline? But they had said that they proposed that they need a haircut of 85%. Why did the bankers not accept that? And why are they now accepting a settlement at 86% haircut, and that too payment coming over a period of 5 years? Even the Tata Group at one point was showing interest in taking over the airline, but they had very clearly said that Naresh Goyal, the dubious promoter, cannot be on board. Why did the bankers not exercise their powers and throw out Naresh Goyal at that time, such that the Tata Group could have taken over the airline, is our next question. Our next question is to the NCLT. What was the hurry for them to accept this kind of a resolution, which is a sham of a resolution? We'd like to know, why is the NCLT approving this kind of a resolution plan? The other question we have is, the bankers always said that Jet Airways has got 16 planes which are its own, and they were said to be worth $400 million, which comes to about 3,000 crores. That is certainly more than the 1,000 crore worth of settlement which is now being accepted by them. Where are those planes gone? And where are those 3,000 crores gone? Is our next question. Our question to the bankers also is, what is it that compelled you to accept just 1,000 crores as settlement, that too payable over 5 years, that too out of cash flow earnings of the airline itself and not from any upfront payment being put up by Murali Lal Jalan and his partners? We have these questions, and to us it very clearly means that this settlement is not a clean, clear and transparent one. The very fact that the NCLT refuses to give a copy of the resolution plan to the public and even to the unions of the employees, to us means that there is something which is wrong. Otherwise, this kind of a plan of a company which had so many people having stakes in it has to be a public document, at least meant for the creditors, at least meant for the employees, and even they are not being given a copy of the resolution plan. To us, that itself is a big question mark. All in all, we would say that this was a facade of a revival which was fronted by the bankers. They always knew that it is not going to take place, and they always knew the fate of the airline. But to us, for extremely political reasons that we think, all of them ensured that a different script was played and all the creditors have been led down the garden path. To us, all this needs a fresh investigation. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. and thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying rupees 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying rupees 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.